Well, let's get into your feud with Beefcake. It's kind of a cold rivalry, as you would just kind of randomly get paired with him after your issue with Hercules came to an end. And on top of that, you're putting him over on the house shows on the way to Mania. And in one instance, Ted, the Ultimate Warrior is going to defeat you in 30 seconds in the middle of this house show run. So it feels like they're putting a lot of juice behind you with this $1 million belt idea. And I mean, that idea is certain to get you heat, especially the way that you're presenting it. Like, I don't need that belt. This is the real belt. Yeah. Why do you think they're having you lose on the way to this big event? Do you think it hurt you at all?
You know, the thing about a good heel is, the one that I didn't like at all was having to put the Warrior over in 30 seconds.
Right.
You know, that was, to me, that was a little bit insulting.
It's like the junk food equivalent of wrestling, where it's like it doesn't do anything for anybody. I don't think it makes Warrior look particularly good. He's just beats you in 30 seconds, and certainly doesn't make you look very good.
No.
But yeah, I don't know. It just feels weird to me that you've got this belt and you are sure to get a ton of heat, and now all of a sudden,
here's the other thing to consider, though, as I'm looking back at that. I had one of the longest runs of any heel they've had.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I can remember, Bruce and I talking about it. I mean, he says, man, and it's just like, you cannot stay on top like that forever.
So here's what's ironic about you putting on wrestling clinics with guys like Brett, Owen, and Tim Horner during this time. It's reported in the Observer that you were great in the matches with Beefcake, but could still, and these are Meltzer's words, he says, even you with your skills, you could still only carry Beefcake to a decent match. Now, did you feel like you were doing all the heavy lifting in these matches, or is Brutus better than he's being given credit for here?
Again, Brutus was a good worker. I don't put Brutus out there as, a great, he was, he had a good spot. He had a good run. He had some charisma, but, it's kind of like at different levels. And I think he was at the level that he was at. And I don't think he was ever going to get any higher than that.
I think he maximized his position on the card, and that's mid card, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's a good spot.
Yeah. Yep.
Let's get to Mania. We've talked about the Mega Powers and their 1 year storyline already. So if listeners feel like they're missing a crucial piece of this story, go back and check out our Survivor Series 1988 and Royal Rumble 1989 episodes in the archives. For right now, I'd like to get to your match and this report from the Observer. So again, this is what Meltzer had to say about the match. Ted DiBiase went to a double countout with Brutus Beefcake in 10:01. I've been trying to find a nice thing to say about Beefcake, and here it goes. He's got cool entrance music. DiBiase was nothing short of great here, but once again, the lack of heat was embarrassing. This actually would have been a good match if the crowd would have reacted like it should have, and decent if the crowd simply would have reacted to something. The match was technically and psychologically good. They went outside the ring and did an anticlimactic finish. Beefcake then beat both Ted and Virgil up after the match, and they scattered when he pulled out the scissors. So not well liked by Meltzer, but he did put you over in there, so that's nice. Coming off of, Mania the year prior, which is probably one of the pinnacles of your career with Savage at WrestleMania 4, the belt on the line, stuff like that. Here you are, you're back in Trump Plaza a year later, and you kind of got this really kind of cold match. Would you say that you were frustrated, or was it just, it's a transition rivalry and you felt okay about it?
I understood overall that I was I'm one of their top heels.
Okay.
And there's only, you can't be the top guy all the time.
Yeah.
You've got to go down maybe a prong or two until there's something else, until your time comes around again. It's like you just said, Yeah, it was like 4 years later that me and Rotunda now are the World Wrestling Federation tag team champions, and we wrestle Hogan and Beefcake in the main event. And and I don't know much. I know, you know, I know that Beefcake and the Hulkster were pretty tight, and I don't know how much that had to do with it.
Well, look, yeah, I'm sure it had everything to do with the fact that you're working with him here. He and Hogan are buddies, and Hogan, I'm sure, is pushing for him to have good matches, and he knows that for him to have a good match, he's probably got to work with a ring veteran like yourself.
Yeah.
Just my thoughts. I don't know. I wasn't there. I was 2 years old at this time, Ted. So
Oh gosh. Oh, right in the heart.
sorry, man. Had to throw that in there.